Okay, we're going to do some reciprocal teaching on scene 3. Charlie, Prince Frederick's barge, April 1736. So firstly, the teacher is going to ask people to predict what might happen next. The summariser might suggest, well, it seems to be set in 1736, a long time ago, on a barge. What is a barge? The questioner asks. A barge is a long boat that goes down sort of on canals and rivers, says the assessor. I assess my knowledge as being pretty good on barges because I've seen a few on the canals. The motivator says, well done, great work, we've got an idea, but I've no idea who Prince Frederick is, says Learning to Learn Chief, and I'm feeling a bit frightened because I don't know anything about history. Motivator says, calm down everyone, let's just read the scene and see what happens. So teacher now instructs everyone to read the scene, and if we look through the scene briefly now, we can do a bit of skimming and scanning, a good technique for you to learn. We can see that Charlie gets whirled into space. He encounters a museum worker who, in the National Maritime Museum, who sees him next to this exhibit of Prince Frederick's barge, and he then gets flung into the actual barge and meets this Prince Frederick, who, if you read the scene, it seems to be a bit annoying. He has a father, King George II, and a mother, Queen Caroline, wife of George, who he does not get on with. Charlie is invited to shoot Prince Frederick because if he shoots Prince Frederick, the whole of history will change, so that the Dutch people, and not the British, will establish a great empire. It's a sort of idea of the butterfly effect, which we can see here in this bit here, that one little thing, a small sort of assassination, not little for Prince Frederick of course, can lead to something really big. Anyway, Charlie is persuaded to shoot Prince Frederick, and he then is shot at by the soldiers of the royal family. He's on the Thames and he looks like he might well be killed. The Time Devil has got this sort of extra deluxe protection for time travellers against being killed. So that's why when the soldiers shoot at him, he doesn't seem to get killed immediately. However, we learn that it's only 85% protective, which isn't very nice for Charlie, who gets very worried. So we have a kind of summary there of that scene, which I have given for you, but you in your reciprocal teaching groups will need to sort of summarize it between yourselves. So the teacher will invite everyone, beginning with the summarizer, to say what is it about, and it might well be the points that I've said. We have this basic idea, don't we, that Charlie's landed in this royal barge hundreds of years ago in this kind of extraordinary scene with the royal family. They've got a king and queen who are bickering with their son Prince Frederick, who seem rather spoilt, and Charlie gets a blunderbuss. The assessor might say, well, how well do we understand this scene? And you might have the motivator saying, we seem to get the basics here, aren't we? The idea that you've got someone who is going to be asked to kill Prince Frederick in order to change history, and that as a result of killing Prince Frederick, the Time Devil has told Charlie that the Dutch, who Charlie is, that's his sort of nationality, the Dutch will become very powerful. But you might then have the questioner saying, well, why is this all happening? You know, what's the purpose of this? It's just a kind of weird scene, isn't it? And the Learn Chief might say, Well, it's quite an interesting and exciting story, isn't it? The idea that you get landed down in history, and I'm feeling quite interested in it because I play a lot of computer games, and it's kind of similar to sort of certain computer games where you sort of land in a particular scene, you're given a gun, and you can shoot people. And you might have the teacher saying, but this is a bit different, isn't it? Because this is a real scene, real people, and the Time Devil is asking Charlie to kill a real person, which Charlie does. And the assessor might say, well, what is our assessment of Charlie at this point? And it might be that the motivator might say, well, actually, I don't think that Charlie is really particularly good in shooting Prince Frederick. He's persuaded to do something very wrong, isn't he? Because he shot a person. And we might then have a bit more of a discussion about what's happening. Do remember to clarify things. So the summariser and assessor need to go round and say, well, does everyone sort of get what is happening here?